Hey Beach City fans, Lily back at you live from day 2 of Techsauce Global Summit. So I'm here chatting with my new friend John of John Jaxheimer Creative, who is bringing art to this Tech Fest. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Lily. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, so we were just chatting a little bit about, they're trying to diversify the conference, right? We don't just want to talk about like technology and innovation, we want to talk about the bigger picture of all this, right? And in doing so, the organizers wanted to bring in your art. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so, tech conferences become very similar, and there's a very specific look to tech conferences, and bringing in a little art adds a little bit more of a variety and adds a little bit of a human element in storytelling that hasn't been around or been involved in a while. So it's really exciting.
Yeah. So tell us about some of the themes that you're exploring in your art and what sort of inspired you.
So for me, the main theme is, where does humanity end and technology begin? Because we are attached to our cell phones, even though we don't have chips implanted in our brains yet.
Yet. Right?
Yet. I'll be the first.
So you would be. So that's something that you would willingly jump into and embrace, right? We're going to be transhuman.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's where we're going, and it'll influence my art, and it'll be able to influence how people view art as well, and design, and our entire world around us.
Yeah, so let's dig into that bit, right? So we talked a little bit about the way we're changing the way we consume art, right? It's not this thing that's on a pedestal, that's only a select few people are in control of art and it lives in museums, right? We interact, we create art, we create content in a very different way. So what are your thoughts on that? We live in the age of Instagram. How does that change the way an artist like you works and creates?
Attention spans have gotten smaller, and people are a little less likely to go to a museum or to a gallery space.
Yeah.
So it becomes this kind of scroll and tap. What changes is, being able to create things that are going to go viral. I mean, that's definitely a part of it, but also things that relate to people's everyday. A little bit more so maybe than creating, some sort of grand, epic, piece that tells the struggle of an entire culture or something like that, which is what you would find more in a museum than you would of a drawing about your cat and your cell phone.
Don't hate on drawings of cats. I love that stuff. So when you are looking at things that way, right, and you've got that in the back of your mind about the way you see things going, but then you're looking around, walking around the booths here at the conference. Is there any tech, any new stuff that catches your eye, that inspires you to sort of think about where to move with your creations?
Absolutely. There's a number of augmented reality. That'll be my goal for my next exhibitions. Will be incorporating a lot more of the augmented reality. I've played around with it some. Getting there, that's the next one. Being able to use our cell phone as a way to view things that aren't actually in our world, but that we can actually interact with, is really interesting and very exciting, because it changes the way that I make art, it changes the way that you would view art, and it would change the art itself.
Right.
And that's transformative.
Yeah, it's that level of interactivity, right? If we can augment our reality and have new ways of digging into information or discovering things, we can literally reshape the way that people view the world, right?
Absolutely.
That's powerful.
Absolutely. And that's really what art is about. It's telling the story and how we interact and relate to the world around us and each other. And that's really what it's all about.
Right. In the end, it's all about the people element.
Exactly. Can't have art without people.
Yeah. So we talked about the people element a little bit, right? And so you actually got in touch and sort of found your way into this conference because you've been co-working out of Hubba. Am I remember that correctly?
Yeah. So I work out of an office in Hubbito, and familiar with the folks here, and they were kind enough to offer me a space. In Techsauce to show my own art, and it's been wonderful.
Yeah, so we're here, and our videos have been sponsored by our partners at truedigitalpark, and so a conversation we've been having is co-working. How does that change the way that people interact and connect? And so for you as an artist, so I guess you move around a little bit, and you're integrating into the community here in Bangkok. What's What's that been like for you? Has co-working been something that's helped you, or like where do you connect with people? How do you find community?
Well, I mean, the co-working space is amazing because it's a whole lot of different industries as well as cultures, because there's a lot of people traveling around the world working.
Right.
And, whether or not you are having a business, aspect in common, you have like a human element in common. So a lot of friends, a lot of good contacts. I've found out a whole lot of things about Bangkok and Thailand that I would never have found out in any other way.
Yeah.
It really brought me out of the kind of the vacuum of being, an expat or like a traveler.
Right.
And really kind of, got me right into a little bit more of the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
Of kind of what's surrounding me. So in my environment.
Yeah. Well, this is all super cool. It's been really great having you share your story with us. Thank you so much, John.
Hey, well, thank you, Lily. I appreciate it.
Awesome. So if you're here at Techsauce, don't forget to walk around and make sure you're paying attention to this guy's rad art. And stay tuned on the Beach City channel for more awesome content from day 2 of Techsauce Global Summit.